It's a new year, which means new music, which means I have something to be excited about. Because without music, my life has no meaning. Yo, what up, you guys? It's your boy B-Mann back again with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 albums that I am most anticipating in 2023. Now, keep in mind, some of these albums don't have official confirmation whether or not they're actually dropping this year, but some of them do. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below an album that you're anticipating for this year. And let's not waste any time and get right into the video. Starting at number 10, we got Shrem for Life by Rae Sremmurd. Now, this is not an album I was expecting to even come out at all. After kicking off the rollout with their song Torpedo, I gotta admit, I got a little excited. Back in 2015, when they dropped their first Shrem Life album, me and the homies were bumping that shit day in and day out. Now, although the last two sequels were not as good as the very first, they still had some notable songs on each of them. Shrem Life 2 had Black Beatles, Now That I Know, Look Alive, all some pretty great songs. Shrem Life 3 had songs like Close featuring Travis Scott, Bedtime Stories with The Weeknd, and Power Glide with Juicy J. One thing I will say I didn't like about this album very much is it was basically like a compilation album of like 8 songs for Shrem Life 3, and then each of their solo projects put together. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but hey, it is what it is. I'm hoping Shrem for Life can get them back on the map, and honestly back on tour, because I would love to see them in concert. Number 9, Music by Playboi Carti. You know, if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I was excited for Playboi Carti to drop another album after he dropped Whole Lotta Red, I would have said fuck no. When I first heard Whole Lotta Red, I did not like it very much. I guess I just expected more from Playboi Carti than I got from that album. After some time passed, I decided to give it another listen, and I learned to appreciate it for what it was. Coming to realize that it's just some hardcore rage music that is perfect for concerts. And I came to the understanding that that was actually the whole point of that album in the first place, is that he made it for performing. And I personally never went to see him, but I did see many videos of his performances for this album particularly. And damn, will I say, some of them performances look fucking wild. Honestly, look like he put on a great show. I really wish I attended one of his concerts. Although I haven't done a shit ton of research on this particular album, the apparent title for it is Music. Just music. That's it. It's claimed to have a brand new sound and nothing like we've heard from Playboi Carti before. I'm crossing my fingers that I'll like it and have just as much appreciation for it as I do for Whole Lotta Red now. Number 8, The Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert. Not gonna lie, for a while I wasn't really anticipating a new Lil Uzi album. After he spent 3 years promoting Eternal Atake before it actually dropped, and how underwhelming I felt like the album was when it first came out, it didn't really give me any type of excitement for any of his albums going forward. But I will admit, Eternal Atake has grown on me since its initial release. At first I was a little skeptical because I felt like it was the beginning of his fall off, but after following it up with Lil Uzi vs. The World 2, I got a little more excited. To raise more hype around the Pink Tape, he decided to drop Red and White, an EP he put out on SoundCloud, which would eventually end up on Apple Music and Spotify. And then he followed that up with Just Wanna Rock, which I think is the perfect song for a club on a night out if you're trying to get lit. Although that fucking dance along with it is a little goofy, I'm vibing with it. If the Pink Tape consists of things like Just Wanna Rock or what I heard in the Red and White EP, then I think I'll be very satisfied with the results. Number 7, Don't Be Dumb by A$AP Rocky. For the longest time, there was a lot of speculation that the title of this album was All Smiles. Rocky has since debunked that by confirming that that is not the title, and that the actual title is Don't Be Dumb. This will be the first studio album A$AP Rocky has dropped since Testing back in 2018. The one thing I've always enjoyed about A$AP Rocky's music is that he is very experimental with his sounds. Although when I first heard Testing back in 2018, I was not the hugest fan of it, but it has since grown on me. I know it seems like all the artists on this list so far have had albums that have disappointed me but have grown on me. I don't know what to say. I just decided to give him another chance and just happened to appreciate him more than I did before. I was able to give it more appreciation just considering the fact that Rocky is somebody who can always step out of his comfort zone to figure out what works and what doesn't. And although he hasn't dropped much music since then, a lot of the singles and things he's released leading up to this album give me confidence that Rocky's probably going to have one of the best albums of this year. Number 6, the Untitled Tyler the Creator album. Now here is another artist that had speculation of a particular album title all over the internet, just for them to come out and confirm that that will not be the title of their album. In a small series of now deleted tweets sent out by Tyler the Creator, he confirmed that his album will not be titled Welcome to the Disco. Honestly, I didn't even know this until like 2 days ago, but that was the apparent title leaking all over the internet. which honestly, I wouldn't have been too disappointed of a disco-inspired album by Tyler, the Creator. I personally think his execution on something like that would have worked out pretty well. With every album that he releases, he evolves and he changes, and that's one thing that I can appreciate about him. Over the course of the last few years, he's really shown his creativity and talents. He really is himself, and he doesn't give a fuck what anybody has to say about it, and I think that's one of the things that people love about Tyler, the Creator so much. So whatever he comes out with next, you can bet your fucking ass we're listening to it. Number 5, College Park by Logic. This album actually has a confirmed release date of February 24th. Release date actually just came out today with an anime-styled trailer to go along with it. To be honest, Logic used to be my favorite artist in the entire world, but the last few albums that he dropped just weren't doing it for me. Bobby Tarantino 3, Vinyl Days, those were not albums that I was particularly fond of. Although I still believe Logic is very talented and has the capability of making music that I will enjoy, I think I just really lost touch with him as an artist after he dropped Bobby Tarantino 3. He went into a short-lived retirement, leading everybody to believe that he wasn't coming back for a while. I personally felt like No Pressure was the perfect chapter-ending album for Logic so that he could take a few years off of music and focus on his child. Being that he has such a genuine love for making music, there was nothing stopping him from coming out of retirement. Even though I didn't enjoy his last couple albums very much, I'm still happy that he decided to come back. One of the things that I've always loved about Logic is his concept behind his albums. The concept of this album is very The Incredible True Story inspired, which happens to be my favorite Logic album of all time. Except it's not sci-fi inspired, it's a concept of non-fiction. I'm really excited to see how this album's concept turns out, along with the music inside of it. Number 4, It's a Boy by J. Cole. Now, J. Cole gave us the title of this album before he even dropped the off-season. In a now deleted Instagram picture, he posted a picture of a notebook with the titles of his last 3 albums, The Off-Season, It's a Boy, and The Fall Off, insinuating in a potential retirement after he drops The Fall Off. Potentially 2 more J. Cole albums left, y'all. Let's cherish these moments of anticipation while we can. I truly enjoyed The Off-Season very much, so I can't wait to see what J. Cole does with this one. He's also an artist that tends to be very experimental with his sounds, so we'll have to wait and see what J. Cole comes up with next, and I can't wait. Number 3, Untitled Frank Ocean album. Now, we haven't gotten a Frank Ocean album in a long time, and I think everybody is just as excited for this as I am. Although there is no official confirmation that Frank Ocean has an album coming out this year, he is reportedly headlining Coachella, which makes it safe to assume that if not an entire album comes out by then, at least a few songs for an album rollout. I don't have too much to say right now other than that I'm excited to see what Frank Ocean does next, but once we have some more information on this album, maybe I'll make a video about it. Let's just hope that it actually drops this year and we don't have to wait another 3 years to hear it. Number 2, Untitled Baby Keem album. For those that know me, they know how much I love the melodic blue, and the true impact that that album has had on my life would genuinely surprise you. Baby Keem has taken the top spot as my favorite artist of all time. One thing I loved about the melodic blue so much is that no 2 songs sound the same. Every song has a different vibe with a different motive, and each beat transition is fucking immaculate. In my opinion, Baby Keem has solidified a spot as one of the greatest upcoming rappers of this generation. Although we don't have a title for this album yet, I can only imagine that the title, along with the cover art, along with the music itself, is going to be nothing short of amazing. Baby Keem has yet to disappoint me in the music department. Considering how much he's evolved and how much inspiration he takes from his cousin Kendrick Lamar, you already know Baby Keem is destined to be great. Although there is no official confirmation his album is actually coming out this year, when it drops, I'm going to go fucking nuts. I honestly feel like my number 1 most anticipated album of 2023 is very obvious. I feel like it's most hip-hop fans' most anticipated album. My number 1 most anticipated album of 2023 is Utopia by Travis Scott. Now, like I said, I feel like this is most people's most anticipated album of 2023. After Travis Scott dropped Astroworld back in 2018, it arguably made him one of the greatest rappers of our generation. Travis Scott is also somebody who has always been very experimental with his sound, and honestly, his delivery never disappoints. No 2 albums sound the same from Travis Scott. Sources have said this is supposed to be a type of psychedelic rock album, which I think something like that coming from Travis Scott doesn't surprise me. Most of his music is very psychedelic inspired, but to have a rock take on it, I can only imagine he'll put his own unique twist on it. It's safe to assume Travis Scott pushed back releasing this album in light of the Astroworld Festival tragedy back in 2021. It's a good thing that Travis Scott decided to wait, to let the families grieve for their lost loved ones, and took that time after that tragedy to try to assist others in recovering from it. For him to wait and not try to take the light away from that particular situation by dropping an album was a good call. I'm not sure if that'll be something he will ever actually truly recover from. but I think it's only right that whenever he goes on tour for Utopia, that he is a lot more mindful about what's going on in his crowds and ensuring the safety of the concert goers. I just can't wait to see what Travis Scott does with Utopia. Do y'all think it's going to drop early 2023 or towards the end? Let me know in the comments. Alright y'all, and that is my top 10 most anticipated albums of 2023. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash that like button. Comment down below and let me know an album that you're anticipating for this year. And please make sure that you subscribe. With that being said, it's your boy B-Mann signing out. Love you guys. Peace.